And let's get another check of weather with our chief meteorologist, Dan Cianca. Dan, even though we've been still seeing a lot of the lingering impacts, it's nice to see that some of our roads are able to reopen and we're able to get back out there again.
It's certainly a slow progress, but progress is being made in many locations across the region. And hopefully with some drier weather, at least in the future, that process will continue. Live look from Domenico's tonight showing that we have a little bit of movement still in the water tonight. There is some wind still occurring. The winds have died down from earlier today, but they're still howling out there in some areas. And we're talking wind gusts in the order of 20 miles per hour in some areas. Right now, 21 miles per hour Big Sur. But offshore, those winds are still cooking. 36 mile per hour gusts just outside the bay, 38 down off of the south coast of Big Sur. So the wind's still strong over the water, which is where a gale warning remains in effect until 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Those winds will slowly ease overnight, but I expect the winds to continue in some areas. Inland valleys, up over the ridge tops, and then in the exposed coast, you're likely to see the wind continue. Some sheltered coastal areas will probably see calmer winds overnight, but generally still a breezy night overnight tonight as there's still some air moving out there. Now look at our current temperatures compared to this time yesterday. Most areas already cooler and headed downward. We are looking at spots dipping into the 40s already tonight, many of them. In fact, some areas up in the mountains, obviously in the 30s already, like up on Loma Prieta, but cities around the bay, upper 40s at this hour. And heading down for lows will be somewhat chilly tomorrow morning. One of the reasons is we have mostly clear skies, just a couple of clouds hugging the hills at the moment, and that's about it. So you can expect a cool start to your Thursday here across the Central Coast. On the coast, that is, we will be looking at lows in the low 40s, some spots even dipping into the upper 30s, and then inland areas, widespread 30s expected. So it's going to be a chilly start to your Thursday. A few spots inland might end up with a little bit of frost, but I'm not expecting it to be widespread. Now the cool air is associated with this trough of low pressure, which has been sitting here over the last couple of days. It replaced the ridge, which has now moved to the east, which is bringing record heat to portions of the country, by the way. And that's what brought warm air to us on Easter Sunday as well. Now you might be looking at this next ridge out here thinking, oh, it's on its way, but it doesn't really work out like that. So let's show you what exactly will happen. This trough is actually going to dig a little bit deeper over the next couple of days. So we'll continue to see a reinforcement of those cooler air. Now the ridge kind of modifies, flattens out, and then rebubbles up here right over the west coast as we head into the weekend. So that'll send temperatures back upward, especially inland. On the coast, we probably won't see too much of a temperature change, mostly because the winds look to stay onshore the whole time. And while they will be weaker than what we have been experiencing, that onshore wind off of a very chilly Pacific Ocean is going to keep our coastal temperatures on the very chilly side, at least below normal for this time of year, even through the heat of the weekend, while inland areas return to normal and get back into the 70s. Now, next week, we'll have another trough building in, and several weather systems will pass by. Now, the question is, how far south will they make it? Meaning, will we see any rain from them? Will we see anything from them? Well, chances are, yes, we will see some wind, and maybe, as far as the rain is concerned, we'll have one passing by on Tuesday, and another one looks like it'll come in later on in the week, maybe around Thursday or Friday or so. So, watching a couple systems next week, we are not going to take direct hits by them. Their moisture will most likely end up in Northern California up into the Pacific Northwest, but we could see some light rain if either of these systems start to dig a little farther to the south. And either way, as they pass by, we'll probably see increased winds as well, and perhaps some low clouds. So that is what we're looking for next week. It is not going to be warm, so enjoy the slightly warmer weather this weekend as it arrives. Futurecast overnight showing mostly clear skies. We'll have just a couple of clouds hugging the hills. Can't rule out a little fog in some of our southern valleys, but otherwise a mostly clear night. And then during the day tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. We'll have a couple of high clouds passing through and maybe a low cloud or two trying to get along the coast, but should be a lot of sunshine tomorrow. And temperatures will head upward a bit, just still below normal for this time of year. So let's get a look at them. Overnight tonight, as I mentioned, chilly down into the 30s up in the Santa Cruz Mountains and in the valleys, and even on the coast in some instances, mid to upper 30s for Santa Cruz and Capitola. It's going to be a chilly start to the day, but highs return to the low to mid 60s, and in some cases maybe even upper 60s. Santa Cruz tomorrow, 67 downtown, not too shabby. Mid 60s in Watsonville, Salinas in the low 60s, mid 60s in our northern valleys, lows in the 30s. 40s as we head closer to the coast, but even Watsonville getting down to 36 overnight. The airport this morning got to 39. The air is drier today and cooler, and the winds are expected to be light overnight. That's why I expect an even colder morning for you tomorrow morning. Low to mid 40s for our lows overnight on the peninsula. Still breezy at times, but highs only in the 50s. A little bit warmer in Carmel. You're sheltered from those winds will get you to 60. And then farther south, lots of 30s to start our day, but 60s to finish it. These highs and lows below normal for this time of year. Looking at that 7-day forecast, notice our coastal temperatures don't budge all that much. In fact, they go back down a bit on Friday and then head back up Saturday and Sunday, only to go back down next week. So our normal high this time of year on the coast should be around 65. We will remain below that for the next 7 days. I do have one chance of rain on Tuesday. It's just a light chance, so nothing major, but we'll watch it for you. Inland areas will be a little bit warmer this weekend, notably than the coast, after a couple of cold mornings to get through anyway, but at least seasonable temperatures. So it'd be great to do a wildflower drive, which is exactly what I plan on doing Friday or Saturday. We'll see what day works out. But next week, cold, unsettled once again. Anna, it's back.
All right, thanks so much for that, Dan.